Welcome to a review of the Salomon S Ultra Glide. These shoes are the next big dog in the game. Let's check these out. Look at this. Oh my lord. So yeah, I've got some big races coming up soon, so we're going to unbox this and get the shoes out. The great thing about these S Ultra Glides is that I have been really enjoying Salomon recently. So yeah, I've really liked the Genesis, and I've also been enjoying the S Pulsar 3. So these come out last year from Salomon, and yeah, that kind of sock-like feel. These shoes were just so lightweight, so comfortable, and I was just really impressed with them. So to see that we've now got like almost like a Pulsar 3 is the way I'm seeing it, but for ultra marathon running, for ultra distances, to battle those 100 miles. Let's dive into this video and check the shoes out. So just before we dive into the box, on side of it are some really cool details, dual foam technology that they've got going on here. So they've got like a Spring Energy Plus foam and also a Energy foam as well, and they're kind of working together to not only offer you a really responsive ride in these shoes, to get some spring back in your stride, so performance, but also offer you comfort in that foot as well. And speaking of comfortable, this forefoot that it's got is actually stretchy, so it's going to stretch to your every stride as you kind of fatigue through that ultra marathon. Your foot is going to kind of grow in size as it gets inflammation and yeah, just swelling from running. This shoe's meant to adapt with you and maintain that comfort over a longer duration of time. And I'm someone who has experienced the worst side of this. In the Spine race, which is a 268-mile race, I did finish it, but I went into that race a UK size 9 and I stumbled out of that race, crippled. I was a size 10 and I couldn't physically get my feet into a size 9 pair of shoes because that swelling was so bad. So it's nice to see that these shoes are looking to overcome that problem, and I've actually gone up half a size in these Salomon. So yeah, I'm roughly a size 9. These are a 9.5, and I'm hoping that's just going to offer me so much versatility to wear them throughout the race. Let's get the other pair out here. Oh my lord, but just looking at these shoes, they are so sexy. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. These are some good looking shoes, and I am not the quickest of runners, so I'm really gonna have to give it my all. So the great thing about these shoes, I would say this, a game changer in the outsole. So you can see these little divots that are in the outsole, and basically that's meant to support the sensitive parts of your feet that might fatigue throughout a race. Having these little divots in the outer sole is the game changing technology that Salomon have implemented to overcome fatigue in the foot. So I am so excited about this, a shoe where you really can push your limits. So that technology is called the Relieve Sphere. Feels really sticky as well, so I'm impressed with the stickiness, if you can hear that, of the grip of these shoes. So although these are quite small lugs, I think you're going to be getting extra grip from the material, which you can hear as I screech it along, but also get grip from these spheres that have been manufactured into the shoe. I just look at that, it's wild, they look so good. So these lugs are 4mm and the spheres are going to add some extra grip as well. Moving on to the midsole, so this dual foam technology. So we have the Spring Energy Foam Plus and the Energy Foam, and the way they work together is that the Spring Energy Foam Plus is that spring in the shoe, so that's the spring that you're getting propelled from the ground, and the Energy Foam is more kind of your protective comfort foam, and they're going to work together to obviously offer you performance and the comfort as well. So that's the way it works in the midsole. Moving up a little bit onto the upper, we've got a nice kind of knit here. We've got S branding on the toe box. We've also got some S branding on the foam. It's just a really kind of sexy looking shoe. We've also got obviously the quick lace system by Salomon. I really like that for ultra marathons, that you can just cinch your shoes very tightly and then just kind of tuck them away into a little pocket here. And I did notice on the Pulsar 3s that pocket was absolutely tiny. So in a shoe that's meant to be lightweight and you're trying to shove the quick lace system in, it's fine and it does stay in there, which is good. It doesn't fall out. But to me, it looks like Salomon have improved that quick lace technology and offered you a bigger pocket here to stow away your quick lace system. What we've got is a very breathable and stretchy upper, mainly around the toe box area and gliding down into the heel cup. Lots of cushioning in the heel cup, and it's quite low as well. So hopefully, if you struggle with irritation and stuff, this is going to be a shoe that you don't get any irritation with. In terms of pricing, this Salomon S Ultra Glide is going to be £230. So it's coming in at a super shoe price range, and let's see if it's worth it. So what do I think of the Salomon S Ultra Glides? Salomon's next elite performance shoe, coming in at quite a hefty price tag. I mean, when you first put these on, the comfort is unbelievable, and even now. So I ran a half marathon yesterday, and I ran that half marathon in sub 1 hour 30. So as you can imagine, my feet and body feels a little bit broken. But coming out here to film, and admittedly those first 20 to 50 meters were horrific, but I'm really kind of easing into this run. And to be honest, this is a day that I would have actually preferred to have had as a rest day. But I'm coming out here, I'm moving my body, a bit of active recovery, and I'm actually feeling really good. So the comfort is great. And we've got that new Sapphire technology that's built into the outsole of these shoes. And Salomon claims that that's supposed to help you throughout like an ultra marathon. And as you ease into that run, having those dimples and those Sapphires built into the outsole is meant to kind of, I guess, distribute that pressure that you usually feel on your feet. And one thing I really liked about the outsole as well, apart from how cool it looks, because you have to admit, the shoes do look absolutely fantastic, is that I thought although the lug depth isn't that high in these shoes, the added kind of depth that you get from those Sapphires means that you're getting a shoe that's going to offer a lot of traction in some of those really muddy kind of environments that you're going to head into as an ultra trail runner. I recently did the UTMB arc of attrition, and yeah, you need traction for that race. But that gets me on to the next part of the story with the Salomon S Ultra Glides, and it's that I actually did want to use these for the UTMB arc of attrition, taking them out for one of my biggest challenges of the year, but I couldn't break them in quick enough. And to be fair, I only got these shoes from Salomon to test maybe a week or two before that race, but I was still quite hopeful that in that time, you know, a week or two is enough time to break some shoes in, and I just felt it wasn't enough. I had a few issues with stability in these shoes that I couldn't kind of work out, didn't feel too confident. I mean, just running up here, this is one of the local loops I do just to kind of like stretch my legs out, and if you can see the dimples in the grass and stuff here, it's enough to twist an ankle. But in some of these shoes that I've been testing, you can just run, I could run blind, I mean I can do it now, I'm running with my eyes closed, and you could even do it like blindfolded or whatever, but yeah, with no kind of fear in the world. But with these, I am kind of a little bit more than I'd like to, more actively thinking about my foot placement and not compromising, you know, where I put my feet. Now I tried to get to the bottom of this in my head, and it did feel like the stability is there in the toe box in that forefoot. So if you're at those top end speeds, and that's maybe why this shoe applies to your elite runners and your faster runners who are looking for that comfort, in that toe box I feel a lot of comfort and stability, and you're getting quite a wide toe box in this S-Lab fit. So if you drop into the midfoot, that's where I've twisted my ankle a few times in these shoes. I think the added kind of stack height in the dual foam, if you catch yourself funny on a rock or a mound of mud, there is potential there to twist your ankle if you're not paying attention. And slipping back even further into the heel, I felt like there wasn't as much stability in the heel as I would have liked, and that could be an issue if you are kind of doing an ultra marathon and you are getting fantastic comfort from these shoes. But if you do want to slip back into that heel to recover, or if you're fatiguing from the ultra trail marathon that you're doing, that could be an issue. So yeah, it's a shoe that as you sit further back into, I do think your stability is compromised, and maybe there's a bit of a learning curve, and this gets back to your skill level as well. If you're someone who can sprint down mountains, I mean, I met Ivan from the arc of attrition who was doing that race barefoot, whilst everyone else was in shoes with like 8mm lug depth, slipping all over the place. So there are people out there with a lot of skill level where stability really isn't an issue for them because they're just absolute animals. We're going to move on to that dual foam performance, and I do feel like there's a lot of performance in these shoes. I haven't had the chance to test the Ultra Glide 3s yet, but they are in the post and I'm actually receiving them tomorrow, so stay tuned for that comparison. But one thing I've been really impressed with from Salomon, especially with their Pulsar 3s that come out last year, was how much performance I was getting, not just on trail and kind of hard pack trail, muddy trail, but it was the road as well. I was going out running on the road and doing a bit of road training because I love a bit of that as well, and just feeling so confident. And as someone who's worn like the Nike Vaporflies and the Alpha Flies, at the minute I'm testing the Asics Metaspeed Sky Parises. There's all these carbon plated shoes, but I put those Salomon Pulsar 3s on, and with just the foam and the technology of the shoe, felt so responsive and speedy. And yeah, I'm getting that same vibe from these shoes, and you're getting that added kind of space in the shoe and the added comfort. So this is exciting. It's a shoe that I'm excited to break into. And what I've been thinking about recently is I'm going to do the Suffolk Backyard Ultra, which is a race where you run 4 miles every hour on the hour until there's one man or woman standing. And I think that's a race that these shoes will really help me with, because I don't really need the most amount of stability. It's on a fairly flat trail, but what I will need is comfort, and what I will need is a little bit of energy return to get around that loop nice and quick so that I have enough time to rest, recover, and get back out there for the next loop. I did have a bit of an issue with sizing. I got a 9.5 9.5, because Salomon seemed to be half a size too small for me in my true to size fit. But in these shoes, the 9.5, these shoes look like boats on my feet. The first person to comment was actually my mum. When I put them on, was like, hey mum, check out these cool shoes I've just been sent to test from Salomon. And she was like, yeah, but they look massive. And I was like, do you know what? My mum's right, they do look absolutely massive. And when I put these shoes next to the Salomon DRX Gravel, these shoes look like they're a size, if not 2 sizes bigger, which is really weird. Just in terms of their physical size, they look much bigger. So I'm not too sure what's happened with sizing here. It's like Salomon have gone a bit more generous on the sizing, which is great for ultra marathon. But I do think in the S-Lab Ultra Glides, you can get away with getting your true to size. And to be honest, if you've been using Salomons and Salomons is all you know, maybe you can go down half a size, I think, in these shoes. So that's one thing to comment. We do have the basket system. So that's Salomon's quick lace that you can quickly cinch up and then tuck the lace away into the shoe in like the basket. I will kind of argue they might have made the entrance to the basket, it's hard to explain, but they might have made that a bit too big. So I have had the laces, you can see now actually, if I just get the camera here, the laces have fallen out a few times, which could risk you if you are out in kind of mountainous area. And I am heading to the UK mountains soon, but if your laces start to fall out and you get them hooked on a rock, especially the quick lace system, which is like a closed loop, you could end up tripping over. So yeah, in the next iteration of this shoe, and I hope Salomon keep making the shoe because it is a very sexy and comfortable shoe, I do hope that they make that basket just a little bit smaller. Not as small as a Pulsar Freeze, but just a little bit smaller. And my last comment is I do have a friend who is absolutely shoe obsessed. I met him at Backyard Ultra, ironically. He seems to have a new pair of shoes every other week, but he did have some heel problems with his shoe, where he was having the shoe cut into his heel in the S-Lab Ultra Glide. So yeah, he had to bend them back. Personally, I didn't really notice that for the first month that I tested these, but getting towards the end of February and we're now in March, I have actually noticed, not in my right foot, but in my left foot of these shoes, I have been feeling a little bit uncomfortable in the heel where it's just catching me right at the back. So I've had to try and bend them back myself a little bit as well. That's a very nitty gritty thing that might not affect you in the slightest. And it's one of those very individual things as well, where it's just literally down to your foot shape. For example, Loyd Purvis from the Run for Adventure channel on YouTube didn't experience any heel problems at all. So that's good to know. So another thing I want to mention is the lockdown. It's not the best of shoes in terms of lockdown. There's a little bit, just a little bit of heel slip, and in that midfoot as well. I don't know, I feel like comforted and I feel supported. Again, it's a really comfortable shoe, but the lockdown I have struggled with a little bit. Might be down to the lacing, and again, it could be down to the sizing and just having half a size too big. So to sum up my thoughts on the S-Lab Ultra Glides by Salomon, I do think they're a fantastic shoe. They are obviously a lot of money, and there are some fair questions about if it's worth it for maybe your more novice runners. But I do think personally, for people who are looking to really perform well at an ultra marathon, these shoes might be for you, with that dual foam technology giving you that extra kind of pounce when you're pushing off and really pushing for it. You do get that good stability, in my opinion, in the forefoot, and I'm loving just the look and design. They're a pair of shoes that you put on and you feel elite, you feel like you want to perform well. And that's half of the battle, isn't it? Being able to get a shoe that motivates you to actually put them on and head outside into the forest and get going. So these shoes definitely tick the box in terms of me being motivated and feeling confident when I'm out there with my buddies that I've got some cool shoes on, you know. In terms of the fit, again, if you're used to Salomon, I reckon go half a size down. If you're not used to Salomon, everyone says go half a size up, which would usually be the case. With these shoes, please go true to size, in my opinion. In terms of comfort, again, as soon as you put them on, you're like, wow, they feel absolutely fantastic. And that new Sapphire Outsole technology feels good. I don't know how it feels after 60 miles of running, but I'll let you know once I get there. And because of those Sapphires and the dimples, you're getting a bit more grip than you'd actually expect in these shoes. So fantastic grip shoes. Any other questions, please leave them down below. If you're interested in my long-term opinions, check out my new videos on these shoes. Peace out.